sir.
Oh, getting a mic and all that too?
Mic you up. Yeah, just don't peek too much, don't scream too much. I'm not gonna talk at a high volume. You right, that's right there.
I'll try my best not to scream.
Okay.
I can't promise.
Don't. Why would you need to scream?
This is you talking about. You love pissing me off.
I don't. Hey, we are here because I had this like revelation.
Epiphany?
Yes, yeah, in the car where I wanted to. We've spoken about, we spent what, like almost a year plus in the car together.
Oh God, that
like,
was fun.
Just chatting and like catching up and
trying not to murder each other.
That
me murder you.
That too, but like we spent all that time trying to like.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time together.
So we've had conversations similar, but I was just like,
okay.
I guess mend the gap.
Mend the gap.
Mend the gap
broken?
of my memory.
Oh, okay.
Of my memory of like from childhood up until now, right?
Okay. Well, whatever you want to ask, fire away.
Okay. So I'm gonna speak.
You have your questions written down?
No, I didn't even know we were doing this till last second. So
you've been planning this so much.
That's not true. For my first, not first memory, but my last memory was you came by.
Last memory of what?
Of you at the house.
Which house is that?
The house I lived in most of my life.
Oh, in New York?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
You came by, and you told me that you were. It wasn't. I guess it was like you were heading out, or you weren't going to be around like that. And I didn't understand it. Obviously, I was half asleep. Do you remember this at all?
Dude, I can remember yesterday.
Dang. Well, that's nice.
It's not drugs. It's just short-term memory loss. You know that. You ever met your grandmother? You can't remember your grandmother.
Yes, I do. I remember.
Bad short-term memory. It's DNA.
I remember your grandma. I remember my grandma. I remember my great-grandma. Yes,
yeah?
They stayed at the house over on Church Avenue.
Not Church. It was on
it was
Lennox.
It was the McDonald's right there, and it was right around the corner. I could get to the house.
Ocean Avenue. Yeah.
I could get to the house if I wanted.
Yeah, but I can't remember a lot of shit. Like, I can't remember. I'm not even gonna try. Like, you know what it is? Things pop in your head when you get to 50-something. Things pop in. Your brain's all in your brain.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah, it is.
But to say how you could pull a recollection of a certain day or whatever, because that meant something to you. Right? Not that it didn't mean anything to me, but I can't remember. I can't remember what.
Do you remember...
I remember fighting with you in your room, you and your brother.
Okay.
I remember that. That was a lot of that. That was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Right? Do I remember a lot of stuff living in Brooklyn and Coney Island? Somewhat. I remember being 21.
Okay, better question. Do you remember the genesis of like leaving Coney Island, Brooklyn? Like being like, I'm gonna go somewhere, like stay somewhere else.
How I got to that?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
That's where we're going.
We don't want to talk. I thought you'd tell me certain things.
This is what I'll say. For me, personally, I want you to speak candidly.
No, you don't want me to speak candidly,
what
bro.
I'm gonna
Come
say,
on, man.
what I'm gonna say is,
right.
In my eyes, I don't think any one person is to blame for everything. I think everybody inclusively played a part.
Because you had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. But I still feel like I played a part in a sense.
No. You had nothing to do. You had nothing to do with this at all.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? This was not you and you, right? Me and your mother was toxic, bro, from get go. But toxic attract until you realize you're gonna learn that. I know how much relationships you had in your life, but toxic fucking attract.
Yes, it does.
A lot. And I'll warn you as a Virgo man, stay away from Scorpio women and Taurus women. You'll like them, but it will be they're fire. Your mother is fucking fire. She always been, and that's what I liked.
Okay.
But fire gonna burn. Somebody's gonna burn, and somebody's gonna have to bounce.
Yeah.
So, that's what it was. Ain't nothing to do with you, man. You're my baby boy.
So
you always was.
Even before. So it was even before.
We fighting long before you was even conceived and born, or even was even a thought. We've been fighting from day one.
Yeah.
We nigga, I could tell you some stories.
This is not, no.
You don't want to hear that.
This isn't what we're getting.
No, I'm talking about you trying to figure out what was how it started toxic. It started beefing. So I was 19, right? Yeah. You know how much older your mother is. You want to put that on the internet? It doesn't matter.
It's okay.
Right? I was 19, she was 29. So, and I was in the part of my life where I was doing some crazy shit that we're not gonna put on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? But so I was just living. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I was new to the country, and shit, American women are fun.
Yeah.
Right? But I got with your mom, and it was toxic from day one. Right? It started that way.
Yeah.
But it was fun. You know, and then it got real, and you came around, but you had nothing with me to do with me. Shit was a fight. Man, your mother's not scared of nobody.
But not
right?
where the conversation's supposed to.
Right. Well, I was just saying is this, but it had, so it was toxic from the get go, man. We would fight forever, bro, from day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
then let's.
I had to get away from her, right? Because of what she's taught me going forward in every relationship I've had going forward. I don't start arguments, and I don't have arguments. And if I have a disagreement, we're gonna talk it out. You could ask anybody who I've been with after your mom. I don't fight with them.
Yeah.
Max Allison, me and Allison been together for.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And you've been in my house. You ever hear me scream at my wife?
No.
I tell you, brother, the same shit the other day. I said, you ever hear me scream at your mother, boy? Don't raise your voice in my house.
Yeah.
Because I learned that from fighting with your mom. Right? I was 19. My first real relationship was basically with your mom. Right?
That I didn't.
Living with somebody with kids and all that type of stuff. And so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just came here, you know? So I learned not to argue from being with her, or how to stop an argument, or how not to piss somebody off to the point where they get violent.
Okay.
Because she got no problem throwing punches.
Let's see if we can.
You lead it. You lead the conversation.
We're gonna move forward. So
next question.
Tech. So what about when? Do you remember when you moved into Texas? This is
leaving
leaving
the
state officially.
When I told you that, or when I just left?
Do you any of it?
Oh yeah, of course I remember moving to Texas. So leaving New York, I had to.
Was Allison already pregnant with Maya, or you guys hadn't had her yet?
Or Maya? When I left?
When you left New York, yeah.
Which time? Yo, I went from, the job I had when I was working with them guys. I went to Detroit. No, this is Maya came. When I moved to Texas is when Maya came. Mm. When we moved to Texas. So I was there. Allison was what? Shit, because remember the blackout?
Yes.
In New York?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, she was 9 months pregnant then with Maya in the blackout.
Okay.
And I was in Texas.
I was probably like 8, 9, something like that. Maybe a little.
Yeah, 8, 9. Yeah, because you're 20 years. You're what? 9 years old, 8 years older than your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there already, and then when after Maya born, Maya was like a month or so when she came.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved out to Texas just for opportunity, bro. Because you remember, when I came here. I'm always gonna try to do something better, to do more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I am, I guess I gained this from my mom, because your grandma was the same way. She always used to try little businesses. She never really was too successful at it. She did Amway, she did this, she tried to bake cake, she did whatever. She always was a hustler, right? Even though she was a teacher, that was what she did. But she always tried little different things.
Find different things, yeah.
So I think I got a little bit of that from her, where in the fact that when I came here, I've never really had a job. In the fact, I've done probably maybe one or two W-2 jobs in the 30 years I've been here.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because I've always worked for myself.
Yeah.
All right? Always, because you make money in America when you work for yourself and you have your own business. So I always look for things like that to think. And when the opportunity came to go to Texas with my friend, to go down there and do the work with what was that, AT&T, we left.
Oh, wow.
That was probably one of the best things I did, because after a certain time being in a certain place, I want to move on. I always want to try something different.
Okay.
Errol means happy wanderer, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't now.
Yeah, that's what Errol means, happy wanderer. So I'm a happy wanderer. I like to go different places. I like to do different things. So yeah, so we moved to Texas.
Yeah.
Right? And
I remember you reaching out to get me to come.
Go to Texas?
Yeah, to come visit and stuff like that.
Man. You don't want to go there?
So this is my recollection of the situation.
Yeah, because you're a child and you don't know what the parents were doing behind the scenes.
So
go ahead.
I'm hearing about the calls, and at this point, I saw you vaguely. Like my memory from that time is like vague, so I saw you vaguely.
Yeah, because I left. I was gone. Yeah,
I hear from you on the phone a lot.
Yeah, because I was gone. I left. Yeah, and I left. Let's say his sister was. Yeah, so you didn't see me for on and off for like 10, 15 years.
Exactly.
I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
because I left. We left. Your sister was just born, right? I came back for your graduation, your brother graduation, but I didn't see you in between that at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's from Texas and moving to Florida.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you came for the one graduation, but even before we go to that, it's like I remember you would call and ask. I don't know. My mom didn't like. I assume you guys were bickering back and forth throughout that, but my mom didn't. I didn't get a lot of that.
Right.
What I got was hearing from you on the phone and hearing that you wanted me to come visit.
Right.
And
nothing happened.
My mom being like, "Do you want to go?"
Right.
But something that I've spoken to her about is that undertone. Hearing about you.
Right.
It wasn't something that like. So at the end of the day, it was my choice to say no.
Right.
But the idea of going to a different place and like just like kind of like stepping out, just like going to Trinidad in that sense. I should have been there by now. I've never been.
Right.
This is like our whole family's down there. It's like a huge thing, but I've actually never been. It's just off.
Yeah.
Like
I'd have dragged you to fucking Barbados the other day. Literally like, kicking and screaming.
It's like in subtext, it sounded like something I wasn't gonna be interested in.
Right, coming to see me.
Yeah, but she didn't mean that, but she would always ask intentionally, if you want to go, you can go. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go visit. It's no harm, no foul, obviously, but it was still like in other contexts of hearing about you, it didn't sound like something I should go do.
Oh, okay.
But that's my mistake in a sense.
Right.
You know, because I should have been able to, but I wasn't.
But I talk to you all the time.
Yeah.
Wait until you, and when you got a phone and you got a little bit older, which made all the big difference. When you, for example, you came when the first time you came here was what, 16?
I came by at 16. Yeah.
Right. And what
that was huge, by the way.
Where was I? I was here. I was in Florida.
You were in Tampa.
I was in Tampa, right? First time, right?
The first time I came by to just visit.
Let me tell you I'll tell you the story of the straw that broke the camel back. All right?
Yeah.
I ain't grew up with no daddy, right?
Yes, I do know that.
And he never.
Well, you did, but you weren't a big.
Yeah, we weren't. Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah.
All right, he was a dick. I don't care if my sisters them here. I didn't know how I felt about him.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I look fucking just like the man, which is, it is what it is. You're lucky. You look like your mama. I grew up. I look just like him. So now.
Fan of that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Until you look at it back in your fucking head and you realize you're my child.
All right.
Right. Take that do-rag and tell.
You know what? Go back to what you're saying.
Right. So yeah, I want to tell you about the straw that brought the camel back.
Yeah.
Right. So I never believe in not taking care of my children. I ain't that man. I try not to hang around. I ain't that guy. I can remember being a child and you might get $100 for Christmas, or you might get $100 for your birthday, or you'll get a card with money in it or whatever.
Yeah.
But he ain't a guy who come to hang out with you. And even when he hang out with you, he's a cunt. And the fact that he always wanted to scream at you and your shoes, he was a military guy, your shoes gonna be closed. He's a fucking ass, bro. He's not a person you want. I didn't know how women like him, but he's a good looking man. I guess he was good at what he did, right? Because he had a lot of fucking kids, right?
Yeah,
and nobody wanted to be around him. Right, you go to the beach and stuff. He used to come every now and again and take us to the beach. It was okay. You saw you come to my house, and with Allison, how you and her closer than I think sometimes than me and you.
Yes.
Right, and
yes.
you don't feel uncomfortable.
No, absolutely not.
Uncomfortable around your dad. 24/7.
Yeah.
That's how he was, right? So he financially never gave my mom nothing. My mom always said, "Listen, man, you're gonna grow up one day and realize who your father is. I don't need to tell y'all anything about him." And she was right, right? So I never was one. It took me a long while with that whole Texas thing. Texas was fucking, they make no money. The contract finally came through, and my boys made a whole ton of cash after. But I had to leave because I had you, right? Money that I owed your mother for sending to you, right? Which I was inconsistent because that contract was just garbage.
Yeah.
Right.
And you said you never worked like a W-2.
Yeah. So if you're not making money, you're not selling product, I'm not making any money, right? And then I had Allison move from New York, quit her job, baby. So then I started doing cable, which made the money consistent.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah.
Right. Even up to today.
Yeah.
Right. It's been years of consistent money with the cable. So I started sending your mom consistent money every single month as soon as I started. This was 2005? 2005, I think I started. 2005, 2006, I started doing cable, and I never missed a month sending her money. And then I got your own bank account, and I started sending you money separate from what I sent her.
Yeah.
The straw that broke every summer, I would say, hey, let's organize to send the boy. Bring the boy out. And not just you, it was you and Paris.
Oh, wow.
You're my boys.
Yeah, because,
Yeah,
you
my boys. Send the boys longer than I was with you.
How long was it before, were you with my mom before? Because Paris and Jeanette were already here, obviously.
Yeah, I spend more time with your brother and sisters. That's why they still call me. I can still call them. Every now and again we talk. We don't talk as much as we should, but, whenever I said send the boys, I meant send both of you guys.
Yeah.
Right? And so every summer it seems that she picked a fight with me. So then you disappear. I wouldn't hear from her for the whole summer, right?
Oh, wow.
And where you went for whatever, fresh air fun or whatever, or you go by some cousin, or you go by whatever, you go by your auntie in the Bronx, whatever it is, so you're never there to send you to come see me.
For the summer.
Well, now I'm sending child support every single month. It wasn't much, but it was I think it was 500 or something like that. It wasn't a lot of money, but I sent it to her every month, right?
Yeah.
And so the year we're in Florida and doing pretty good doing cable because Texas money and Florida money, two different money. I told you that. It was like double pay, right? So I started sending her a little bit more money. And April, what is Mother's Day? Mother's Day is in April. Yeah, I know you don't. You just touch my boy. Good son. Okay. Fuck that shit.
Okay, right? I know what
so I sent her money. I don't know why. I guess I was in a good fucking mood or whatever. I sent her money for Mother's Day, which is in April or May. Put up and tell me when Mother's Day is. So we don't look like two fucking asses. I don't have my phone. Right? So I sent her money for Mother's Day, which was in the middle of the month. Right? And then I sent her, which is May, I think Mother's Day, so whatever it is. Okay. And then I sent her money at the end of the month, right? And then she called, I think the month after or whatever it is, before the month was figured, saying that she was going on some vacation. That's because I sent her money early so she can go wherever she was going. Okay. All right? And then you disappeared again. I think I'm doing good. I literally sent the mother of my child, not a woman I'm with, Mother's Day money for her to buy herself something. I sent, a couple weeks after, I sent you money for your child support. And then a couple weeks after that, you called me and said you needed money to go on some trip. Could I send the money early? And I did that also. So we're going into June, where there's vacation. You off of school. And then you disappeared. And I called your brother and your sister and I told them, so your mother is doing this to me every single year. I try to get Devin to come out. I'm not going to pay a shit no more. I call your brother. Ask your brother and sister. Yeah. They'll tell you. I was on a fucking job too, bro. Right? I was so heated, bro. And I called both of them. I tell them, listen, I'm gonna start a fight with your mom, because I'm gonna take her to court. She's gonna probably take me for child support. Right? So I'll let you guys know. So you guys both know I always send money for your mom, because they know your brother's today too, but they know I always send money for your mom, because for Devin. But I'm gonna stop sending because I know she's gonna take me to court. And me and her gonna start a battle, because every summer, you guys both know, until Paris too, ask Paris, that I always try to get your mother to send Devin to come see me, and for some reason, he disappears every summer. She could quote me in that, and your brother and sister could verify what I say. This is for family.
I got
right?
It. Yeah.
And she disappeared, and that started the court case.
So I'm probably around like 11,
15.
12, no, 15.
Yeah.
So it was right before I came to Tampa.
Yeah, because we were in court. How do you think you got to Tampa? You think she willingly sent you? The court made her send you?
Oh, wow.
You think she willingly sent you? She had no choice. Because the thing is different. I didn't know better that child support and visitation is two different things, right? I could have kept paying her, go to court, and fight the visitation. They give me visitation. They give parents visitation and their kids, bro, where you go drop them off at the police station sometime if both you guys beefing that bad, right? They're not gonna stop a parent who want to be in a child life from being with a kid.
Oh, well, okay.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, we went to court and I won. I actually ended up with, I was actually paying more money to her outside of court than I was paying in court. Plus, then I started to increase your money on your card. So it was money going for child support, all the extra, okay, for whatever, let's say I was paying 500, 600, whatever I was paying, 500 a month. The court made me pay less from what I was making on my income. And that extra money went to you. That's what you was getting on your bank card. But you didn't, you're a child. You didn't know how much we were. It was every summer, bro. Every summer was a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, not having a dad who sent money was a big thing. Because sometimes we didn't have food. I told you, you guys never been out of a meal. None of my kids ever understand what it is. And I try my best to tell you, but if you've never been out without a meal in your life or go a day or so without eating, you don't understand how it is.
Yeah.
You understand? Well, you understand when the lights off and you ain't got no family. You ain't got nobody giving you nothing. You ain't got no rice. You ain't got no this. And you're hungry.
Yeah.
My sisters, y'all listen. Y'all know how that is. I ain't lying. That's the truth, right? So making sure that you had money, not just money that I sent to her, but money that you had in your pocket to buy whatever the hell you want to buy, was important.
Yeah.
So I did that. Yeah. So that's the story behind it. That's how I got you to come, and that's how you came the first time and stuff, and that's what it is. When you had the 6-pack, you remember that? Okay. I got that picture too. If anybody wanna.
It's not. They're not getting that picture.
Yeah. So that was that.
That's interesting. I mean,
and then when you finish college, that was another beef.
Yeah. No, but I think
that was.
I think that was huge. So
which one is that? What was that?
Just me making, because I didn't make the decision by anybody else. You didn't tell me to do that.
What was that?
Yeah, come to Tampa.
Oh no. That wasn't. I didn't want you.
I mean, I want you around, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't that. I want you to finish fucking school because you started. You understand? And yeah, but school ain't for everybody. School definitely wasn't for me.
Yeah. Right.
So I couldn't hate you and you said, listen, I had enough of this shit and I'm done. I said, well, then it had the rules when you had to come. If you wanted to come live with me, it had the rules, and you came and we made an agreement, and you stuck to the agreement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then you decided to come live with me and piss off your mother even more, which cost me an extra $2,600.
Did not know that.
You didn't know what? That it cost me $2,500?
No.
I never told you that. I never tell you that you owe me money.
Okay. So I remember.
Go ahead.
It cost you by me being there, or did it cost you like you had to pay out?
It cost me because when you finished college, your mother decided to take me back to court.
Yes.
To get more money out of me.
I remember this, yeah.
For you.
That day.
Saying that.
Was the first time that I saw, like, because I don't, again, like I told you, growing up, I didn't get that like argumentative side of it, or at least I don't remember. It might have been happening. I don't remember. Yeah. But that was the first time where I actually got to hear it, because it was coming from you, because we were in the car all the time.
Yeah.
So
pissed me
any
off,
information you think that's being passed is through me.
Right.
But I'm obviously not. Well, at least I wasn't passing any information. So it's like for you to come to me and be like, why is this happening to me right now? What did you do? And it's like that was the first time I was just like, whoa, like.
Yeah, because I thought, because you turned 21.
Yeah.
Right? And you're out of school, so legally I have no responsibility to take care of you after that.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're in school, your parents have to pay for you until you're 26. That's New York state law. Right? You are out of school. Worse, you're living with me in my house, so there's no reason for me to pay no child support.
Yeah.
Right? It's done. Right? But then she decided to take me back to court, trying to get money for transportation and whatever it is and all this, when I was paying child support, I was the one who paid for you to go to school. You know that, to transport back and forth with bus tickets and money and stuff like that. Your damn skateboard you ride around. You still have that skateboard by any chance?
It broke the day I got my car.
Right,
my
but
license.
so, you know, so that got me to the, you know, you were in the truck with me. You know how angry I was. And I was sorry to be cussing. Well, I ain't sorry for cussing, but, you know, it pushed me to the point that, why you want to start this all over again? So it caught me. I had to go get a lawyer again. I had to fly to New York, right? Go to court, and then she never came back to court.
Yeah.
For some reason, I guess somebody talked to her, whatever the fuck it was.
Me.
Right? She never came back to court.
I know.
But that whole thing run, and you were just starting over. You were just starting out. You needed a truck, you needed an apartment, you needed tools, right? You needed all that type of stuff, and I dropped $2,500 to fight your mother in court for something I shouldn't have done. So that put me to the point. That's why I told you, don't ever get sick. Because that put me to the point where I said I'll never ever speak to her again, and I haven't since.
Yeah, you haven't since.
Right?
Okay. Do you remember coming by for the graduation? What was it? Maybe
Which graduation? When my sister and them came?
I think so. Yeah. 8th and 9th. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was.
You were crazy, bro.
That was crazy.
You were fucking wild, bro. You were just a bouncing off the fucking walls at that age.
Still do.
No, you don't bounce. You were doing your parkour, right? Okay. You're flipping every freaking second that you can, jumping off of shit like you're a psycho. Yeah, but I remember that. Your brother graduation too.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw you guys in a room together.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like small spurts when I was younger, like that was the first time I saw you guys in like the same space. Like,
you know,
that was, but you gotta see from my perspective. That's like, that's crazy. Like, it's crazy to think about. It's huge stuff.
Like you'd never seen your parents together.
Yeah.
Well, thank God you never seen us argue because you can't remember none of that. But actually, brother and sister them about that.
It was
You know.
Got you. Well,
yeah, that was because, like I said, your mother's a pistol. That's all I gotta say about that.
So I think.
So yeah, and that's what got me. Used to get me so heated, right? I have your brother at home right now. Yeah, and he had the privilege of being around me all the time. Even though he thinks that, you know, teenagers are, he know every fucking thing in the world.
Of course.
Right? And he don't learn nothing from me. But I would see, number one, my attitude rubbing off on him. My attitude rub off on you also. Right? My thinking or my philosophies in life and stuff rub off on your kids. Right? You teach them who you are. Yeah. So I can see him, the way he thinks, the way your sister think also, right? Because she's definitely me. Yeah. Right? And you can see that you rub off on them, good or bad, right? That they learn from what they see from you. Okay? And one of the biggest thing I wanted is for you guys to come, you and Paris. Because what you'd have seen, okay, even though I wasn't with your mom, with Alice, it was being a family situation, husband and wife and kids. But what you'd have seen from me is a man get up every single day and go to work.
Yeah.
All right? A man get up every single day and go to work all day to take care of his family. And I think for a boy, right, it might even register you as a child seeing that. But seeing your dad get up every single day and go to work and come home, right, take care of his family, it's something I think you should see. And I think you guys were robbed of that, even though it was a summer.
I don't think that's fair to what I did get to see though.
What?
A mom working 3.
Yeah, no, but it's not a fight between your mom and your dad who's working, right? But you might want to have a family at some point in time in your life. Yeah. You might want to have a wife and the kids and a family at some point in time. But for example, I don't want to call no names, but you know people where you grew up in Coney Island, where all they do is what they do all day in Coney Island.
Absolutely.
We know a lot of people like that, right? That we used to hang out with and the people that we know. So to see them get up every single day, see me get up, I wish you had been there when you were 12, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you had come every summer, we'd have a better relationship.
I 100% agree.
You understand me? Because you'd have spent 2 or 3 months with me in my truck, even though you'd have hated it. right? But we'd have been, when I was off and stuff, we'd have get things to do. We'd have talk a little bit more instead of you showing up when you're 21, right? Or 16. At 16, I thought I was a fucking man, right? At 16, I was basically kind of taking care of myself.
Figured, yeah.
You understand? So at 16, being in Coney Island, from Coney Island, you're basically taking care of yourself. Riding the trains, cooking, doing whatever the hell you want to do, right? Running the streets, right? Even though I know Bridget had her hands on top of you, that's for sure. Right, you weren't really running the streets with that type of man, but you know what I'm saying.
I already had
independence,
grounded mentality about certain things.
Growing, I would always wanted you guys to come in the summer and spend the summer with me. So you will see that type of way. If you remember what happened when you came for 16 when we went to work, you remember that conversation?
I do. I was gonna bring that up.
Oh, you were bringing it up. Tell the world what you said.
We went out to do. You brought me out one day.
I almost killed him.
To do cable with you. Just to see what you've been.
What I do.
Working to get the reason I have all of this. And now, obviously older and having been through it.
Yeah.
I know where I completely misstepped, but. For me to come out, and that was a great day, by the way. We got pizza that day.
I made money that day,
yeah,
bro.
It was a great day.
Well over $300 or $400 that day, bro.
The first thing I say in the middle of the heat is, I don't want to be out here like a slave.
Yep. And you said also, this is slave work.
Slave work, yeah.
Slave work.
Yeah.
Because not seeing from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? And seeing, like I said, that's what's important.
Also, not knowing the check that you made off of that day, right?
Yeah, not understanding that, damn, that's $400.
For somebody that didn't make anything from
right, not only that, too.
Yeah.
That was what a lot of people in America made in a week. I made it in one day.
Yeah.
Yes, I running my own business, working for myself. Yeah. I made it in one day. And you said, man, that's slave labor.
And I didn't understand it. Like now, having had my own business for as long as I've had it,
right,
and doing cable and running those days, and even
even with you run your own business right now.
The money back then versus the money now is like night and day.
Yeah.
So it's
you remember that? You remember when Verizon Frontier brought Verizon that year?
Yeah.
Oh man, we banked that shit like crazy. We milked it.
So
that was crazy. That was probably that was the best year.
That was they got all them boxes.
Yeah, we made some money, boy.
Little black boxes were gone.
Yeah.
But
so that
probably
hurt.
shattered you in a sense.
Oh man, I had to walk out the fucking truck and walk down the street. You remember that? It was in the night.
I remember getting yelled at.
It was the night. And I pulled over and wanted to murder you.
Yeah.
Right? Because the hard work and the sweat. Oh, that was when cable was bad too. It was hard work then. Yeah. And you say, yeah, man, I don't ever want to be a slave like you.
I said that?
Yeah, he said, I don't ever want to do slave work. This is slave work, and I'm never going to be a slave like this. And then a few years after you came and I taught you how to do it.
And I didn't dislike it.
You were crap at it.
I was bad at it, though.
Oh, you were horrible. But it fed you. It fed you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I tell you, I said not knocking what your mother did and how much I know how hard she worked.
I don't want to.
I was with her.
That's something.
I was with her, and I know how hard she works.
Yes,
and she changed totally from where she was when I met her to where she is now.
Yes.
Right. Two different people when it comes to working.
Yes.
Right. So.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So I want. Yeah. No. What I was just saying is this. But if you had been coming, you'd have see that conversation. That conversation would have never happened.
That's fair.
My conversation would never happen because you understand, I'm going to work. You'd have been, if you was my child, from 11 to whatever it is, you'd have said, listen, how much I getting paid today? Because you a Virgo, man. We don't do shit for free. If I'm going to come hang out with you, because you'd already known, damn, I'm going to make $50 today.
Yeah.
I'm going to make $40. I'm going to make $100. If he make $400, he going to give me $75.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when you came back and I taught you and we were working together, I paid you and you got paid well.
Yeah, it's a great year.
You understand? So that was a blow. But they man, look at this. So you see now I come back and I teach you how to do it, and you was, like I said, crap at it.
I feel like
the worst cable guy ever. This one right here.
I feel like that part was necessary. It was cool.
I'm just saying the truth, bro.
I feel like something that I don't want to say I'm envious, but I'm grateful for being where we are now, like getting to know my little brother and my little sister, and like actually.
Shit, they like you more than they like me.
But like we have moments where we got a group chat and you'll send pictures and I'll be like, dang, they got to. I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. You don't got no pictures of. I don't even know if I have pictures of me from that time.
Right.
It's like.
We have pictures. Something popped up the one time we went to. Wait, that Jaden wasn't around. When you're 16, when we went to Busch Gardens and stuff like that.
Jay was around.
We went to Busch Gardens? Was he? I can't remember. I can't remember.
When I came to 16, he was like
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So them things gone, lost in the brain cells. So yeah. I understand.
Like that's something that like.
Yeah, but I don't think you tell me how you felt coming to live with us. Right? And how the relationship with your brother and sister fucking love you, by the way.
Yeah.
I think the dogs love you more than anybody. You are the dog's favorite person, right? And you and Jaden got a great relationship.
Yeah.
And Maya the rest don't talk to nobody on the phone. That's just who she is.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, you have a great relationship with Allison also, all of them.
I think that's originally what I came there for.
Yeah, that's what you told me. That's when you didn't want to leave.
I wanted to be a big brother.
Yeah.
I really did. Like I felt
because you're the last. You and me are the last child.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, there's two ahead
I'm a
of
middle
you.
child. We're in Atlanta. I'm a middle child.
Well, you're Atlanta. You're in the middle now.
I'm middle right now.
Yeah, right now you're in the middle. So 2 above and 2 under,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But technically with your mom, you're the last, and with my mom, I'm the last.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
like,
I got a lot under me also.
Oh yeah.
And a lot above.
Yeah.
I got a lot of brothers and sisters. Shout out to the brothers and sisters.
Yeah, so like that was huge for me, but I didn't expect us to be able to meet at the level we've met at. But I mean, like, you got to think.
Dude,
like,
think about
we just know.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah.
What made I think things get. I think you needed to know that I got your back and I had your best interest at heart every single time. Every single time me and you argue, right? If you think about it, all the things I'm not gonna put it out on blast. All the things that me and you argue about, except for religion, right? All the things that me and you argue about is always things that I want you to do better.
Yes.
You understand?
I think at every stage while I was out there, I don't think that there was a time where you were like, it felt like we were at odds to the point where you weren't on my side.
Because I always want you to do. I always want you to do better.
Yeah.
Right? Because I expect better at you. The people watching you also. You got 2 under. You understand?
Yeah.
So I always want to push you to do better. And sometimes I think you do stupid shit because that's just your generation.
Yeah.
I older. We always think y'all gonna do stupid shit, but everybody do stupid shit. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I always want you to do better, man. You know that. I got your back. Like when you called me out in the rain to help you change the tire because you didn't know what you was doing. Yeah. And this is the YouTube generation. He couldn't YouTube it.
Okay, thank you.
Don't cut that out either. You're gonna edit that out. You're gonna edit that out that you couldn't change the tire. You can change the tire now though.
Yeah, no, I've changed multiple tires.
You learn. There you go. But so that's what parents are for, to teach you to do things.
Yeah, that was.
I gotta teach your sister when I go back how to change a tire. They're saying that something that a girl should know to do, so you wouldn't have to ask anybody. Sketch you in the road. So I gotta teach you when I go home how to put the jack on there and jack it up and take off the tire and put in take the spare out because she drives the car all the time now. Take the spare out and change the tire and then put it back.
Yeah.
So.
And then so I stayed there for a few years.
Where in Tampa? You talking about?
Yeah, in Tampa. We had great.
Yeah, well, the rule, the agreement was you come down here. What was it? 6 months I gave you, or 8 months, or something like that. Yeah, that you're gonna teach you the trade. We get your driver's license, get your vehicle, get your apartment, and then you're a man on your own because you're 21 years old, right? Yeah. And we did that. Mm-hmm. And then it was for you to. I think also, you know what I missed is conditioning you through the years.
What do you mean by that?
If you had come every summer, you'd have been conditioned the way how I work, how I live. You understand me?
Yeah.
Certain things I think you should have learned, should have done, right? I'd have been on your ass since you're 11 years old, and you should do certain things a certain way. Mm-hmm. You know, all the beef we've had over certain things. And then we wouldn't have it at 21. We'd have it when you was 11 and 12 years old. So you can know exactly how to do certain things around me or what I expect you to do and what I think you should do, right? So I have the same battle right now as your brother with certain things also. He's getting better at it, right? He's getting better at it because things you need to know when you're on your own is what, because you just basically got thrown on your own. Think about it. You live with your mom, you went to college, which is a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Right? And then here you go, you have an apartment. You got to pay light bill, you got to pay water, you got to pay rent, right? You didn't have a car, payment, you didn't have pay insurance, all them shit you never knew. But the condition in a few years will get you to that point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You had all them things, you had to buy pots. The only thing you need to do is make is mac and cheese and noodles.
Pasta, yeah.
Yeah, and eat pizza, which you still do, by the way. Yeah. Right?
Right.
I had to teach you to cook.
What else am I supposed to make?
Exactly, you had to learn how to cook trendy food.
I know how to cook. I know how to cook. I just don't know how to cook. I am not crazy about having a bunch of different meals. I'm okay with what.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is,
I like.
But being with me around me, you'd have learned to eat some good trendy food. You'd have been happy. I ain't talking about you eating meat. You'd have still not eat meat or whatever. That's on you. Yeah. Right. But you had to learn how to make some good rice and beans and all them good stuff that you love, by the way.
I can make rice and beans. Thank you very much. I can do that.
Not as good as me.
Anyways, okay.
Next question.
Here's we're getting closer to our close.
Already?
I mean, we've been on.
You ain't asking for nothing else?
30, 40 minutes.
We ain't talk about politics. We ain't talk about the environment. We ain't talk about.
This is about us. It's not necessarily about
Oh, okay.
It's not a grand deal, or
Okay, so you said controversial and
I said it could
canceling.
I said it could.
I ain't saying nothing that.
You said
didn't give me a chance.
I gotta mute that.
They can't say the C word on.
You can't say the C word. That's it's offensive.
On YouTube, you can't say the C word.
You're not supposed to say it at all. At all. Okay, so now you've seen what I've been doing out here since I left.
Yeah.
Like,
I made comments.
I'm not. I'm not. How can I say? It's not cable,
Right.
It's not
constructive.
It's not. It's just like I remember.
You making up the top of your head.
I remember
creating it.
One time I sent you that one video with the girl. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a little story. Or whatever.
Was it the one that Dayton in Atlanta? Was it that one?
I'm not sure.
You have a whole bunch. I've seen them all.
There's a bunch. Yeah, but it was like this. It looked like a movie's kind of. Like cinematic.
Right.
It was a story of like me and this girl, and I remember you voiced it to me. You was like, because when I first started doing like content and stuff, you don't really get content necessarily.
Yeah, but then you know what I got into it because you were doing it, right? Because I guess me and my old generation, I have Instagram now. I got rid of it for God knows how many years, but I got it now because I got my business. Yeah. Right. And I do WhatsApp because that's how you talk to anybody in the Caribbean, or that's all immigrants use to talk to each other. Even when we're making phone calls, we're using WhatsApp. We don't even pick up regular phones anyhow, right? So this is what you're doing, so I gotta have interest in what you're doing. So I started, you send me videos and I watch them and I comment on them. Yeah. But I already told you, I think you're fucking hilarious. I didn't know you was this, you're funny. The Waffle House, I don't know how you ain't get sued yet, right? But your Waffle House videos, fucking hilarious. Yeah. I told you that. I tell you need to do more funny stuff because you're hilarious. The Waffle, I don't know how them things didn't get, you gotta go viral, you get a million views on them because some of them are just off the chain. Yeah. Right? Those were funny. And I already tell you, to run with the concept of what is it, the fight app?
Fader. Yeah.
It's called Fader?
Fader, yeah.
Fader was funny because I want to be the first one in Fader, and if he ever decided he want to shoot that video, right? I am going to, listen, I'm promoting your own thing. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I'm promoting that he needs to run Fader, and I'm going to come up to Atlanta. I'm challenging him right now on his thing. I'm gonna come up to Georgia, right? I'm going to get my phone out on the app. I'm going to choose his ass. And I'm gonna go knock him the fuck out. And it's gonna be a real fight. Ain't gonna be no stage shit, right? Ain't gonna be no stage shit. And for years, he knocked me out when he was a child, right? That I make him hit me, and he thought he beat me up.
I knocked him.
And he has never really, as going into 30, he's never got a proper ass whooping from me ever. So the day he decided to restart his Fader app,
yes, Fader. Yeah.
Know that I will be there,
ready,
pressing that fucking button on his name.
Fighting on the app. I'll be the developer and a producer and a creator, CEO. I will not be on the app fighting. What? The app isn't being made. It's not real.
It's not a real app. It's a bit.
Yeah.
But no on the bit, you gonna get called out.
Okay.
And you gonna get your ass whooped.
Yeah, okay. This is the point I'm trying to make here. Look, so
I support you whatever you do.
When I first started, you didn't understand it. But
I didn't understand
if it's giving you out of trouble and you like it,
I told you is once you ain't gotta call me for money to I call you for money because I trying to get some of that child support back. I had to put. That's my bit. That's my bit. My bit is whenever he do something and he's successful in, I want some of my child support money back.
Yeah.
Right. That's all I asked for. So I've gotten some of the child support money back. Right. Well, you know what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is this: when you do, I think it's a funny concept. I know it's not an app you can do because there's way too many waivers because people won't get knocked the fuck out and somebody will die.
Yeah.
Right. But when you do decide to start that creating, even though it's not real, I'm gonna show up and whoop your ass for real.
Okay, that's not okay. The point I'm trying to make here is like.
So you think my support back then wasn't? Yeah, because I thought, you know what it is? Okay, you know what it is?
Yeah.
Right? I show you how to make real money.
This is what I'm trying to get.
Work-wise.
Yes.
Right? And I didn't really care about YouTube and YouTube followers, YouTube people. I still don't fucking care. Right? I don't care about famous people.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care about sports.
Yeah.
Because to me there's a bunch of rich fuckers and I don't really care about any of that.
Yeah.
Right? So people getting views and stuff and getting paid off of it wasn't a concept that I thought was real. Okay? But if you're doing it and you're excited about it, I'm not going to be the one who's going to shit on it.
Absolutely.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Because you definitely excited about it. And if you, and every one of you, I ask you, how much people following you now? Yeah. Right? How much views you got? I used to look and see how much views you got. And I never always going to press the like button. Even if I didn't think it was funny, because I like your funny stuff more than anything else. I always hit the like button for the simple fact, I know that's how you get paid. Yeah. Right? But yeah, any parent at 50 years old, or any person in my generation, unless you have one of these YouTube channels and stuff, you think this is bullshit. Yeah. Right? It's just like Bitcoin. Right? Well, anything that, what I'm saying is the fact that we grew up looking at people go to work and get a paycheck. Yeah. Or people start a business and get a paycheck and take care of their family from that. So with you now, this is a whole generation of new money. Yeah. That's basically what it is. Yeah. New money from whatever concept you can take. Face it, man. People taking pictures of people and people clicking on it. And I do it all the time. I watch them, right? Or I'm into fitness, into working out and eating healthy. I watch these guys giving tips on how to do this and how to do that. And they're getting paid. Right? So if you can make Waffle House videos for the rest of your life, I will watch them over and over in the reel because they're fucking hilarious. Yeah. If you guys want to see something funny, click on this channel and watch his Waffle House videos. Because if you ain't think Waffle, and the funny thing about it, I've seen other people emulate what you've done with your Waffle House videos or done similar stuff in Waffle House, and they're just not as funny. Oh, wow. So I think you're hilarious with most of your Waffle House videos. Yeah, but this was gonna be the last question. And got away.
I think you kind of led toward it when you said that you taught me like physical manual labor work to get money, and that's never gone. Technically, I can always just
go back to work. I went back to work.
But now that I've chosen this and I've been in this, and you've seen like how far I've gotten, like verified on Snapchat, all this other stuff. Right. I called you about my subathon, hit 160.
Right.
So you have no idea what that means.
No, not at all.
But like, do you?
I care because it's you. Other than that, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Do you? I was gonna ask. Do you feel, given everything that we talked about in like conditioning and stuff, like, do you feel disappointed in me?
No fucking way. Because let me tell you why, bro. All right, honestly. All right. I'm 51. I got maybe 20, 25 more years to live.
God forbid, but I hear you. I get your.
Yeah, right? You're 30, and I think what we have been taught for life is a little bit of bullshit. Okay? And the fact is that you go to school, you come out, you get a job, you buy a house, you raise a family if you're lucky, and you work till you're 60, 65, and you die. Okay? I work now, and I wish I had done this earlier, right? Because I've missed out on so much. I work now so I could see the world. You see all these travel vlog people. Yeah. Now I wouldn't want to put it on the internet, right? But my goal is by the time I reach 70, I was just telling my friend today, my goal is by the time I reach 75 or so, this is to go to 100 countries. It's 190 something countries in the world, something like that.
Yeah.
Right? If I can do 4 countries every single year, see different places, eat different food, you know how much I like the food.
Yeah.
Right? Drink wine, see the sunset somewhere else, you know, go in the middle of the jungle. Yeah. And that would make me happy. Right? And if I had started when I was 20 or 30 or 40 with that mind concept, I'd live a happier life. You understand? So if you're doing the creating and you live in a happier life, you ain't gotta be fucking rich.
Yeah.
Because people think that is happiness. Driving the fancy car. Now if you drop a thing and it goes viral and you make $1 million and you can buy yourself a Ferrari, your mother a house or whatever it is, and you know you can give your daddy back his child support money, right? That would be great. Yeah. Right? But if you're happy, I'm good with that. I'm very happy for you. Like your sister, you know, was pushing to do architecture and she was drawing houses and stuff. But architecture wasn't her thing. And with me and her mother having to do a job maybe that you don't want to do, right? Or having to do a career where you have to take care of family and pay houses and all that type of stuff, right? But that wasn't her passion. You see her drawings.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I saw her drawings. I was like, what the fuck? This girl got talent. And my mom used to sit and draw like that too. In the middle of the day, she just there sketching stuff. I was like, shit, she have her grandmother genes. Yeah. So why would I push her to do architecture and draw houses, what I did in high school, and I love fucking houses, right? Yeah. When she animates her thing and creating, you know, she do all my posters for my business. She do all the creating for my business. Yeah. Right? So I'll push her to do that. She might not make a ton of money, but she don't have to make a ton of money. They got a house in Florida. Something happened to me and I'm over there good. Yeah. I got life insurance. You guys are good. We got a house. You guys are good. You understand me? Yeah. Right? My life insurance, if something happened to me, my kids are good. Yeah. I've done that. So if you guys could go in a path that you're happy, we don't know what the fuck your little brother's going to do. But he's definitely going to take over the world. Right? He's Pinky and the Brain. Right? He's Pinky and the Brain. So if you happy doing this, I'm happy for you. You ain't got to be rich. But you happy doing it?
Of course. Every day.
Right?
Like this is.
I see you crying on the internet. That was fucking hilarious. That was hilarious. So all his streaming fans, all his streaming. Nothing wrong with that, right? I just thought it was funny, right? And I was glad that you got what you got. Well, yeah, fuck yeah, laugh at it, because I tease you about it, because we live in a household, right or wrong. We don't pull punches in our houses. No. Every fucking body's gonna get teased, right? Because if you're not strong enough inside your house, when you go out in the world and the boss tell you, or somebody call you the N-word, or somebody say something, or somebody cut you, if you can't handle that type of pressure inside your house from your family who keeps you on your toes, what you can do when you go out in the world? You're gonna be a punk. Yep. You'll get emotionally damaged. Emotionally? No, we're making you strong inside the house. Yeah. So if you can't make fun, if you can't take us, dude, you always on my ass. You was talking shit about my hair just today.
I said it looked nice. I did not say anything about. I didn't get on the phone and say, "Hey, where you going?"
I was about to say the N-word, but then you're gonna bleep me saying that.
No, you can say it. You good.
You were full of shit. You was talking shit about my hair just today, and my hair looked.
I said, "Where did you get all that hair?"
Look how many comments you get from people on this, how good your daddy look at 51.
I mean, who's knocking that? Nobody's knocking that.
And you're lucky that you look that good when you're 51, right? So, yes, you were talking shit about my grades today.
No, I didn't say anything about your grades. You brought that up yourself just now. I never said grades at all.
Man, you see? Whatever, man. You
never said any of that.
Lying ass right here. That's all I got to say. Yeah, man, I'm proud of you, man. So what do you think I sat down here talking to you? I thought we were going to get controversial. We got so much in the world right now, we could talk controversial. I got all sorts of views that will get you canceled.
I got you. I know from jump 51. You never wanted to be in front of the camera. So for you to even step out.
Yeah, I'm not a.
It lets me know in a sense that you're like.
I was happy when you told me. You know that? I was like, yo, I hope you come. And you told me, well, you know, my mother is off limits. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, thank you.
But I was nice. I didn't say nothing bad to that. I told you the truth. Yeah. Right? Which could be verified. Right? So Yeah, I thought you were going to talk some controversial stuff, man. This ain't controversial.
Do you want to say something controversial for the cameras go?
No. People, this is a different...
Do you want to salute the crowd before you go? Hey!
Listen, man.
No,
keep your constitution. Know your rights. Stand up for your rights.
Yeah.
Don't be an ass about it. And, yeah. That's the most controversial thing I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's all. As far as I'm gonna say, that's all I got to say about that. Okay. Yeah, man, we're good, man. You good?
I appreciate that. Yeah, this is.
I want to see you edit it and send it because you gotta send it to me before you post it.
Why is that? Are you gonna tell me to put stuff back in? That's
because you know you're gonna cut mad shit out. Don't cut none out because you have to piece it. You have to do.
I feel like I'm gonna tell it.
Let the story slide and get all the answers. The answers come out.
Yeah.
Let it go truthful the way it is.
Yeah.
And
of course. I feel
I'm
like
happy with that.
I think the conversation itself didn't go.
Look, I ain't picked my nose once.
Look at that. The growth.
Yeah.